Greetings, dear viewers. I'm Quail Cookcard, and welcome back to the Community RPG Maker Project. Am I live now? Was I live when I said that? It's too early in the morning for me to know or frankly care. The point is, greetings. I am so tired. I have pushed my body to its limit over the last several days. Frankly, the last couple weeks. And I am just absolutely and utterly exhausted. So, last week I started working on these snowy mountains. And I think it's time for some more of that. So, my first priority is just going to be mapping out like the actual like path, I guess. So I want it to sort of loop around kind of like this, I guess. I don't really have a lot of intentions for this stream. Honestly, I just want to get I just want to get something built. That's all. Okay, sure. That is good enough for the next part of this mountain. So let's just add some low cliffs. Honestly, it's probably best to just start with snow in this whole area. Okay, that music is too much for me right now. There. So, time to build some walls. So, for this section, I'm just going to have some lower walls. This is going to be, like, a tighter, slimmer portion of the mountain. Whoop. My first priority is just to get this whole area mapped out, just in the most basic of terms. And, yeah, once I have, like, a basic mountain design, then I'll go in and decorate it a bit. Ah, hello there. Good morning. I wondered if anyone was going to find the stream this morning. It was pretty much completely impromptu. I didn't know if I'd have any energy to to actually stream this morning. Or I didn't know if I'd have any capacity to stream any more of this week. Hold on. Like this. Okay. And blop. There we go. So now I need another staircase. Oh. Here's my error. There we go. And we can also place a few spots. Just kind of like that. Okay. There we go. Yeah, this whole area is a bit thin, I think. There we go. Be a little better if there's some caves or tunnels in the mountain. Yeah, my thinking is that we put like a cave here, and then that can go a little way, and then that'll come out to the top of the mountain, where we will come across the old dragon nest where Ryu was born. So I mean, that kind of works. We'll just have a couple snowy ledges just here to sort of break up the cliff a little bit. Yeah. I like that. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I think I like that. Let's take a look at the general shape of the terrain just before I add any feature to it. Oh yeah, I'm still running my clicky-clack mechanical keyboard. Alright. Hold on. There we go. Best to grab my non-clicky-clacky for these streams. Okay. I mean, it works. I do need to put like a white parallax underneath this. Just so all these spots where, like, these black corners stick out, it'll be white instead of black. So I need a white mask parallax. And then, of course, all of this area is going to get decorated. The point of it is just to see if the shape of it works for right now. I think this looks pretty good, honestly. Yeah, that'll work. And then we can just, like, put a cave here. Okay. So then my next... No, we need GIMP. Alright, gotta do a little bit of image manipulation here. So, where... Here we go. Where did I put the basic files for this thing? Is it just in the utility? No, it's not just in the utility. Okay, it's in my Cosmos folder. I have a very definite way that I construct my my folders. Let's see. Last modified 8.2. So that's probably... No, that's probably it. Okay. Okay. Now we'll move this over here just so I'm not showing off all of my files. So yeah, the deployment folder, okay, it is the new project folder. Alright, so I just need a flat white canvas. So we're going to start with this already existing parallax screen, simply because I already know it is it's already the right image size. And we're just going to delete everything on it. Then we'll select the entire color, and we're just going to bucket tool the whole thing white. That is not that is not white. Okay. There. We'll do it that way. Okay, why is it defaulting to that color? Clearly it's under some kind of a filter. Alright. Okay, fine, fine. You know. What's the size of this thing? Where can I see my... my information. Layer attributes. Does not tell me how big it is. Okay. Will you just create one the same size? Thank you. Normally, I would be able to do this more efficiently, but I'm just a fair bit tired today. So let's just save this where I need it. Where are you? There you are. Images, parallaxes, and we're just going to call this white mask. Okay. So that should solve the problem of the corners. And then, aside from that, we can probably just add mountain tiles to the rest of it. Okay, this doesn't help perfectly with the black cornering, but it does help enough. You'll have to excuse the fact that I have the fan on. I know it's probably audible. Frankly, I don't care. The RPG Maker streams are just meant to be chill, relaxing experiences for me, so I don't wear my headphones, and sometimes I'll just keep the fan on. I'm really just getting a good sense of how it looks, what parts of the map are actually, like, visible. Okay. That actually looks pretty solid. I do need to have this part of the map lengthened a bit. There we go. So then the last thing we'll do is just add a few more places where we have little bits of mountain that are coming off. Okay. Oh yeah, there's no reason to build them up that high. Okay. Refresh all this. Alright. So that is the basic structure for the mountain path. So next, I want to have a couple cave entrances. So we'll have one there. One here that's like a more constructed entrance. And then we'll put one there and one here. So those are going to be 4 cave interior sections. And then we'll add some places around the map where the wall is a bit cracked. We're just doing wall decoration first. We don't need a lot of it, but it is good to have some. We can have a little crack here and here, here. For each of these, we'll just have it say you looked inside the small hole, didn't find anything. And this one over here is actually going to be a treasure. Hello, Imran. Pleasure to see you. Good morning. You looked inside the small hole. And you found a bottle of Pepsi. Cool. And then we'll just copy the regular page, paste it, have it activate when self switch A is active, and the event is done. Now functions as a treasure. So how do I want to go about decorating this? Well, first I should do the underlying terrain. So we can have like some of these snowdrift parts. What other options do I have? Okay, I do have a few other options, but yeah, we're going to start with these snowdrifts. A little bit of that. The treasure is poison. That's crazy. No, it's just Pepsi. In this world, Pepsi is healing potions. Make a sinkhole. All right. Well, the rule is I try to integrate as many community ideas as possible. So apparently we are adding a sinkhole. So let me think about how to actually do that. Okay, same as characters, event touch. Going to make a save point where the party members can heal their health. I'll have something here where they can heal up. Sinkhole could just lead to more map. I could do either way. I could... Hold on. So... is there a way I can... do this? Make a crafting station that allows the player to make non-copyrighted Pepsi. That is an interesting idea. I'm going to put that on my to-do list. That might not be... that might not be something I add here, but that's definitely something I can do moving forward. Add crafting for non-copyrighted Pepsi. I'm trying to think how exactly I would do a sinkhole. I do have a basic idea. I'm just wondering if there's any easier way to do it. Okay. So the player, we're going to change their opacity. Pepsi bottle is just a Coke bottle that has Pepsi instead. That's definitely an idea. Okay. So this is gonna be a bit jank. This is gonna be a bit jank, but I think I can make it work. All right. So we're gonna have a sinkhole trigger that turns on. It will play a sound effect. No, that's a bit much. Can we just have an earthy sound? Okay. So we'll do that. We'll do that. And then for the event, we will change. Okay. We'll set a self switch. so the self switch is going to look like a hole. So when the sinkhole trigger is on, these will all be on the same level as the character. So they will block them. And then touching them will increase the sinkhole count by 1. And then, if sinkhole count is equal to sinkhole goal, then the player does a little jump with the sound effect. Okay, that's a silly little sound effect. I like that. And then the sinkhole trigger switch turns off. Okay. This is going to be a little jank, and it's going to take a little bit of dialing it in. But let's see if I can make it work. Feels real good watching others filling my dream job at the night of my birthday and contributed to it. Oh, well, thank you. I'm glad that you can be here, you know? I do try. And then the sinkhole goal is generated when you do this, which comes out to be a random number between 3 and 6. So, if this works as I am hoping, you won't see anything here, but when you step here, there'll be a sound effect. It'll maybe look like you're standing in a hole. And then you can wiggle around, but you won't be able to leave. And once you've wiggled around enough, you'll pop out, and then you can keep going. So that's the way it should work if I got this to do what I want it to. We'll just debug walk through the walls, and we'll give it a test. Okay. Okay. Well, I see the first problem. We want to move the player through, move one step forward. Is there one on here for just gather followers? There isn't. Okay. Gather followers. And we'll have a balloon icon of an explanation. Imagine instead of killing you, it leads you to a small dungeon. One of these sinkholes will actually have you fall down somewhere. And then you'll go through and you'll come out one of these other exits. That's what I'm thinking. And, I mean, everything that I build, I can just copy-paste into later parts of the game. So if I make functional sinkhole triggers, that's just the thing I have access to. Okay, so let's see how this works. Ah, okay. I see the mistake I made. I did not turn through off. We'll start by doing the self switch. And the explanation. Alright, let's try it in that order. Like, I'm pretty sure I can make this work. Like, it's not gonna look fancy, but it will be functional. If I can get it functional, I will be happy. Okay. Okay. So event count. If sinkhole count equals sinkhole goal, gather followers has to come before the exclamation. Set sinkhole goal to a random variable. If the sinkhole count is equal to the sinkhole goal, okay. So another important thing I need to do is when this activates, I need to set the sinkhole count equal to 0. So then I can just copy paste this entire system anywhere that I do it. Sinkhole goal random set to 3 to 6. So let's make sure that this is not spammable. So we're going to add a slight delay. And then when it does work, we will activate through on, move the player one step forward. Okay. This might be functional now. Let's give it a test. Okay, here we go. It looks a little unnatural, but it does work. And then the last thing I forgot was to alter the through off, so you can't keep walking through walls. It still looks a little unnatural when you fall in here. Okay. I think I have a functional sinkhole. Imran, I really think I have a functional sinkhole. And more importantly, I think I have a functional sinkhole that is completely modular, meaning I can copy and paste it and use this same design anywhere in the project. Okay. So you get stuck here. You wiggle around a bit. It pops you out. You can't walk through walls. Oh, I need to change the opacity back. But then it doesn't let you set foot back onto the sinkhole. None of the other parts are functional. This works. I have successfully built a functional sinkhole. One step forward, opacity 255. And copy the trigger points. And the opacity was a little low for my taste. So let's just go to 196. Well, let's go 175. I think that will function. Okay. One last test of the sinkhole, and then I will get back to terrain design. Since I have now added another new feature to this game. Sinkholes. I really love this, like, sort of sunsetty color. Oh, that is so beautiful. That works. That absolutely works. Okay. Functional sinkholes have been added to the game. What is this? This is... oh, like dirt patches. Okay. Alright, let's get back to adding snow flurry areas. Oh, did I already add all the snow flurry areas? Yeah, I did. Okay, good. So next we want snowy bushes. We're just going to add a few of those here and there. Not what you hoped for? You still want, like, a sinkhole that'll, like, make you fall somewhere else, right? Because I'm still going to build that as well. This is just, like, the base form of, like, a little trap that does nothing but, you know, eats up a little bit of time. Like falling in the snow on Mount Coronet in Pokemon Gen 4. Just something like that. There will definitely be room for other variants. And I will add at least one variant on this mountain, which is necessary to get some kind of a treasure. Okay. There we go. Just little bits of this peppered around. No, I don't want to use that. Just like a few areas where there's like little patches of dirt visible under the snow. Just a little bit of something for a bit of definition. Okay. Not bad. There. Okay. So that takes care of a bunch of little stuff. Next portion. I want to... add a few big trees first. Okay, just a few of these. Technically speaking, how far are we into the game? Realistically, if someone was actually just like playing this through straight, like if they actually knew what they were doing and where to go and what to do, maybe around-ish about an hour. We're still pretty early into the game. Which is why I definitely want to make sure that we save room for plenty of features to be added later. Okay, that looks good. Here we go, like some snowy rocks. Definitely want to add a few snowy rocks. I don't want to go too heavy on the decorations in this area. A Yeti, huh? Okay. We can add a Yeti on the mountain. Alright, so I didn't want to go too heavy on the decorations on that part, because I'm just going to load up these higher portions of the cliff with a bunch of snowy trees. So it is definitely going to look a lot busier once this is all up. Snow wolves, I can probably make that happen. Okay, just add a whole bunch of this. Just to very clearly delineate the line between the cliff tops and the actual traversable portions of the map. We might have to cheat a little bit to find a proper Yeti. But just let me finish laying out these trees. And then we will take a look at the available enemy roster. And we'll see what we can do. So this shouldn't need a layer greater than 3 to make it work. Okay. This is at the top of the map, so we'll just cut a few of these. Okay. Just like that. Just want to give nice, solid visual indicators for where the map boundaries are. And this is a good way to represent that. Okay. Have I seen the Yeti from Clash of Clans? I know almost nothing about Clash of Clans. I don't play it, and I haven't really paid any attention to it. We're basically going to be limited by what we can do within the game's default assets. So we will see what we can do. Kind of like that. The tree line's so straight, I expect those ninjas waiting to ambush. It looks... I will admit, it definitely looks kind of unnatural the way it seems in the map editor here, but experience has taught me that when the actual game is running, it will look a lot more natural, and a lot of this setup will just sort of fade into the background of the player's awareness and won't draw too much attention to itself. At least that is the hope, because I don't want this to be like particularly eye-catching. I just want it to sort of have the eye of the player sort of like filter it out, just kind of accept it as boundary. Like if you look up if you look at maps of like towns in old Pokemon games, you'll actually see that it's actually surprising how often the backgrounds of these the boundaries of the towns are just completely very unnatural seeming, just straight lines of trees. But if you actually pay attention to the sprite work, basically every town in the Kanto region is just surrounded by lines of trees in a very unnatural seeming way. But unless you're specifically paying attention to it or looking for those kinds of details, it just sort of fades out of your awareness as a player. Your brain just sort of filters it out as a generic idea of, oh, this is a boundary. So now we just lay down a few of the smaller trees. And I think we may have the terrain finished. Let's take a look. So you come out here. The snowy mountains start with crossing a frozen lake. And I think the craggy texture does a good job of sort of saying, like, oh, here's where, like, there's ice versus... You know, if you look at the shore, you can tell that the rest of this water is moving. So this at least suggests that here there's an ice path you can walk on. Alright, let's pay close attention to the terrain as we traverse this section. So this was the first part of the mountain. This is the lower section. And everything above this staircase is what I've built today. Okay. Ah! Okay, real talk, I actually forgot that was there. Thank you. Very relaxing. We are able to walk into the cave areas. That's good. I can add a few sinkholes here and there. I think this looks great. I think this looks really, really good. I'm finally going to turn my fan off. Like, this feels like Snowy Mountain Path to me. It makes sense if it's a town like people have tampered with nature, so you make them from a wilderness map. I don't know if I quite get exactly what you're saying. Unless you're referencing, like, your earlier suggestion for, like, a ninja thing. Honestly, I think this looks beautiful. I think this is completely functional terrain. And then I should also test this one, this small hole over here, where you can actually get some Pepsi. And you found a bottle of Pepsi. Alright, and then it doesn't do it again. Alright, good. I think that is beautiful. Alright, let's take a look at some of the enemies that we can design for this area. So, Yeti and Snow Wolves is the suggestion. Let's see. What will work for Yetis and Snow Wolves? Yetis and Snow Wolves. I'm technically a fox, not a wolf. Oh, that's a nice proper mimic. Since it's city, the nature is controlled by human activity, such as logging, so there's a pattern of the tree growth, but the wilderness, everything up to is nature, so the trees are not as organized. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, I see what you're saying now. We'll definitely see more signs of that when we get to the other side of the mountains. On the other side of the mountains, there's actually going to be, like a town there. And it's definitely going to look more ordered and constructed on that side. Let's see. Ooh! That could work as a Yeti. Okay, so there's one potential for a Yeti. Ooh, that could also work for a Yeti. That is also definitely definitely possible. What else? That is literally just a drown. And that's a kappa. That is a clown. That's a ball. That's a bird. That's a robot. There, that's the one. That is a snow wolf right there. Ooh. Okay, we've got two kinds of wolves that I could play with. Interesting. A zombie dog. Interesting. Might be able to do something with that. Tiger bone treant. Unicorn. Witch. Wolfman. Wolfman is another possibility. Okay. So I have some general ideas for enemies. We'll just copy these for a baseline. Alright. I will be right back, and then we'll settle on a few enemies for the area. Ooh. Okay. Back to work. So... So which ones do I want to go with? Do I want to go with a smaller number of more powerful wolves? Or do I want to just go for a swarm? Alright. I think I'll go for both. So... color should be a little more... subtle. Okay. Alright, so just some placeholder names right now. Not gonna bother with the stats right now. We're just gonna go with Lesser Frost Wolf, Greater Frost Wolf. There are a few other good ones I came across. A wolf man is not a bad idea. I can go for something... Is status effect a thing? Yes. I can make status effects that do basically anything. Okay, I'm gonna go with this weird looking guy. And, placeholder name from now, we'll just call it a Flurry. And do I want to go with the blue ogre or the cyborg for the Yeti? I think I prefer the cyborg since it's nude, and I think that just looks better. Harpy? Harpy kind of works. Frostwolf has a chance to inflict Frostburn. Character affected by Frostburn gets slowed and take damage. Alright, a combination of a poison and slow effect. I like that. Okay. So, placeholder... Harpy. And finally, the boss. I'm gonna go with deep blue eyes for the Yeti. Alright, so these are going to be the enemies on the mountain. We've got Lesser Frost Wolves, Greater Frost Wolves, Flurries, Harpies, and a boss fight against a Yeti. These are all completely unfinished enemy designs. This is just a basic rundown of the sort of things that we find. You suggested adding a Frostburn effect. So I can definitely do that. Uh, 10% perfectly fine. You could also make less armored characters have higher chance to have negative status effects upon getting attacked. Oh yeah, that's easy. So HP regeneration is down. Also cut to 50% agility. Frostburned is Frostburned is Frostburned. I do really like this as a status effect. This is a good one. Auto removal timing. Turn and have it last, I don't know, 3 to 5 turns, I guess. Have it end on an action. Okay, Frostburn. Icon doesn't really matter all that much. There we go. I don't know. That's death, that's poison, blind, silence. I think maybe the curse effect works best for this, maybe. I don't know. We'll throw it out, just see how it looks. Yeah. Just to go ahead and do that. I just need to see this tested. Okay. Alright, just show me the overlay. Okay, yeah, that's a bit of a weird overlay for that effect. What does rage look like? Thank you, Imran. Nope. That doesn't work. I don't think blind looks... I mean, worst case scenario, I just use poison. It doesn't look great, but I think it looks better than the poison effect. Yeah. The blind effect works well. Pepsi could be a high-grade healing item, inflicting energy status effect when used. So far, our basic rundown is we've got bottles of Pepsi, that are just a basic low-grade healing item. We've got Pepsi Monster, which is basically your your like mana restoring stuff. And of course, the mysterious non-cola based Dr. Pepper, which is like your elixir. Alright. That's... I I I I guess this works. Um let's just paste the first test here. Energized characters may be faster in speed and hit harder. Oh, a Pepsi stimulant. I like that idea. I'm going to add that later. Add Pepsi stimulant for higher teal healing Pepsi. Hope I have some really good lawyer. Yeah, I probably do. Let's see, the mountain. So, at what level will all the enemies just auto win on the mountain? Let's say if everyone was level 8 or 9. If everyone was level 9, it would be 27. I think 27. We'll make it 30 for just flat auto wins. Okay. So that works. Huh. All right, let's add another couple of sinkholes. And where else is a good spot for a sinkhole? I can add one from... Good. Auto win system sounds really good, you think? It should work out just fine. Okay, let's put a sinkhole here. And lastly, we'll have one sinkhole right here. And this is going to be the hidden one that actually drops you down into a chamber where you can get something, get like a treasure, and then it'll come out here. Have you thought about an item rarity system? Doesn't... I mean, it would be possible, but I'm not really building something that I expect that's going to be long enough or thorough enough where that would really be, like, necessary. And if I really want to throw in, like, really crazy rare items, it's still very early in the game for that sort of a thing, I think. Okay. Let's start making an interior map then. So this is all the same. We have a different interior. Oh. Oh, ice caves. Yeah, that'll look great. I can work with that. Okay. So this is going to be mountain interior. Display name the same. Height, width, don't need to worry much about this. Dungeon map, showing the editor. Okay. So, the first spot I'm going to make is for this entrance right here, which doesn't actually go anywhere useful. So, that's just going to be like a little entrance that doesn't actually accomplish anything. Okay. Actually, I think this one looks better. No, that one is better. So I just need like just some basic ice floor, I guess. I do think this wall looks better, though. I think that wall texture is better. There will definitely be better ice caves later on. Um, this is really just for aesthetics. Okay. So we add our transfer mountains here down. And mountains, quick creation, transfer, interior, here, up. Okay. So I really like the idea of the frost burn effect. So I am going to make it into a spell that our characters can learn. So this is going to be deals ice damage to an enemy and may frost burn them, inflicting damage each turn and reducing their speed. Okay. So it's going to be ice. It's going to have a 50% chance to apply the frost burn effect. Ice type enemy might need resistance to those, though. I agree. Is it as strong as the firebolt? I'm going to call this the Frost Fire spell. Ice. Magic type, one enemy. Yeah, I think that works for a frost effect. Emran, you think it should just be damage over time? If it's going to be damage over time, all I can really do is just add... I can't really make anything resist the amount of damage it will do if it's damage over time. So, like, I couldn't make it so that an enemy would... Like, right now, the defense is... right now, just as I have it right now, it would cause the afflicted enemy to lose 10% health each turn. If it's just going to be damage over time, I can't change that rate. So, like, I couldn't make, like, say, a fire monster lose 20% each turn, and I couldn't make an ice monster lose, like, 5% a turn. All I would be able to do is make it more easy to afflict an enemy with the condition, or make it less easy to afflict an enemy with the condition, or make them completely resist it. So I can do just a straight damage over time instead of any direct damage. But it does mean that it's going to have to be a flat rate of damage lost. Yeah, 10% Frostburn is really busted. For like bosses or really tough enemies. What I could actually do, though, is I could create two versions of Frostburn. One for... Actually... No, this actually is possible. This actually is possible. I'll show you how I would do this. So this we could call Frostburn Normal, because this is basically just an internal name that's not going to show up anywhere. But watch what happens if I create another effect, and I call this Frostburn Boss. And I change the HP regeneration loss from 10% per turn to 4%. I change the agility reduction to only reducing it by a quarter. Now I have two versions of Frostburn. So what I could do is have this one Frostfire spell apply Frostfire normal and Frostfire boss. And then what we would do is we would come here to say this normal enemy, and we would make them 100% resistant to Frostburn boss. So now it cannot be affected by the weaker version of Frostburn, but it can be affected by the normal version of Frostburn. And then we could come here to the Yeti, and we give it a 100% resistance to Frostburn normal. And now it can be affected by Frostburn boss, but not Frostburn normal. And since this one Frostfire spell applies multiple, attempts to apply multiple states of Frostburn, we can actually dial it in. Which means that we could actually make a third version of Frostfire that would do more damage to enemies that are weak against fire. And then we could stick this on enemies that are weak against ice. For the player, I don't know how I would do this for... Well, I mean, there are ways I could also use the same kind of idea to have the effect be more or less powerful for the player. I could also do this, but I sort of like this idea of having three versions. One that's 10%. This is just normal. Totally acceptable that normal enemies could lose 10% of their health per turn. In the regular course of events, they're going to be losing more than 10% per turn just from regular attacks, probably. We have a boss version where it only takes 4% of their health and doesn't slow them as badly. And we have a stronger version where they're even more slowed and they're taking even more damage. So we adjust each of the rates to 100%. Since we're going to change this to a flat damage over time spell now. None. Okay. Inflicts an enemy with Frostburn, reducing their speed and inflicting ice damage each turn. So technically it isn't actually doing ice damage, but this way we'll get the point across to the player like, oh, this is elemental damage. I could probably expect it to be stronger or weaker against different opponents. So we just have casts Frostfire. So then we come in here, and instead of resist state, we're actually just going to put state resist. State resist gives a 100% immunity that cannot be adjusted or bypassed. So then we just make sure that each enemy type can only be afflicted by one form of Frostburn, if at all. So for most enemies, we just want the normal version to work on them. So we just copy the state resistance onto the different types of enemies. For these ones, for the pyramid enemies, we actually want them to be susceptible to be the weaker version. Okay. And the Worm Queen resists the two normal versions. The gorilla with a lot of guns, it's not really going to be effective, but you never know when I might need to like copy things. So we just move in. We don't. The resilient egg, we're actually going to make it completely resistant to frostburn overall. Wait, hold on. Nope, this is not right. You're immune to the boss version and the weaker version. Okay. Worm hatchling, you're immune. You only get the normal version. The egg, you're immune to all frostburn. Cavern crab, regular version. And then if for some reason someone is going after the weaker versions. Okay, so now we have Frostfire. That works. We can go ahead and give it a cheaper mana cost. Need to be careful though not to make too many effects with flowed property. Make sure the player can't stack them and make the enemy's speed just super abysmal. Oh, don't worry about that. I'm really good at keeping track of what the player has access to. So yeah, that is Frostfire. The enemy version of Frostfire is just going to afflict the normal version. There's no reason at this point to worry about needing different versions of an enemy one. And then I am going to create a scroll, because everything I just did with Frostfire is so that I can make it a player skill with a lot of utility. Teaches Thatcher the spell Frostfire and deals damage over time and slows the target. Okay. And we're going to tie that to a new common event. Okay. And this is the scroll for Frostfire. And Frostfire. You got lore. Oh yeah, we've got a good we've got a pretty good idea of a story going on. You can check out previous streams and recaps to get a sense of that. Um, but yeah, we've actually got a decent sense of how the story has reached this point, and a pretty good understanding of where it's going to go in like the really late game as well. And then we're going to copy this chest. So this first area on the mountain that goes nowhere actually gives you the scroll of Frostfire for Thatcher. You found a scroll of Frostfire. And I need... yeah, this looks like the sort of chest you might find in a snowy cave type of thing. Alright. So let's check all of that just to make sure it works. Do 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 do. Okay. Alright, we go in here. God, that is so loud. Oh well, it'll get better. Okay, so we have a scroll of Frostfire. So now Thatcher should know Frostfire. Inflicts an enemy with Frostburn, reducing their speed and inflicting ice damage each turn. Okay. Oh god, I'm gonna have to like cut. Yeah, I'm gonna have to adjust the I'm gonna have to adjust the volume of like every single transfer trigger in the entire game, huh? Oh, that is really annoying. Alright. Okay. Cat Flip. Why not? Alright, Frostfire. There you go. Alright. Okay, so Frostfire works. I think it's probably important to change it to turn end. Because if it's only triggering at the end of their action, and their actions are slowed, it's actually not as effective as I wanted it to be. And my god, why is the enemy collapse sound effect so damn loud? Why are any of these... I thought I went through and specifically changed all of these. Okay, well, I mean, apparently I did, but I didn't get to all of them. What the hell was I thinking? No, really, why did I not do this? Okay. I do not understand how I went through these and changed almost all of them, but not actually all of them, to a quieter noise. That is really something. Okay. Um Now I did change the chest opening sound to 25%. There we go. And apparently I never adjusted the ones in the pyramid for some reason. Those are just way too loud. And you as well. Okay. And this means that I am sure all of the other chests in the pyramid also need to be adjusted. So I might as well do that while it is on my mind. Okay. And one chest here. Okay. And that's all fine. That's all fine. Did I get the forest treasure chests? I did not. Okay, so apparently I just got the mine treasure chests, but didn't start making the adjustments to all the others. I'm still going to have to go in and manually change the sounds of every single transfer trigger in the game. That's going to be involved, but I can make that work. Let's see here. Okay. Decrease volume. Alright, we are going to make a list of stuff I need to do before my next stream. Decrease volume of all animations. Decrease volume of all treasure chests. Decrease volume of all transfer points. Okay. Alright, and I think that's going to be it for the stream this morning. There's still other things I'm going to have to get done today, but I did want to make sure I put out at least one of these this week. And I do think I did a very good job. I think I'm at the point where I can sort of finish building the rest of this part of the map, the caves, and the interior and the exterior of the mountain. The next time I stream this, I will be working on the mountain peak and the important stuff that's going to happen there, and I will finally unlock the system that I built a while ago and have been tweaking in the background, which is allowing Ryu to shift between different draconic forms that have different elemental attributes. Again, if you're looking for a game to play or stream, I would really like to see Mindustry. Okay. I will add Mindustry to my list as well. Thank you for the suggestion, Imran. I appreciate that. Yeah, I think that's going to be it for today. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm gonna go try and get some rest. And I will see you all on the next one. How do I turn this off? That's how I turn this off.